Alright, back for some more Nebulous. I've been having a ton of fun with this campaign so far, and I'm really keen to get through the whole thing. So expect the last video in the series to come out like tomorrow or the day after. I'm in the middle of a really big move in real life. It kind of came a little bit out of nowhere, so I'm not able to stream at the moment, so I'm kind of doing this to keep up, but I promise once the move dies down, I'll be back to my normal schedule. But for now, let's hit up Engagement 3 and see what the OSP have in store for us. This is Calculated Hubris. The Alliance counterattack continues as the battle group begins to run low on essential supplies. Incoming reinforcements from OSP space could turn the campaign around if the path home can be kept open. Run the trench and bring the big guns to bear, but be wary and never trust the intel department. I've already mentioned that in this campaign about trusting. Oh wow, we have a lot of ships. Okay, looks like we've got 4 cargo feeders. Cargo feeder is exceptionally well armored little ship. It's got tons of armor but no structure. So once that armor goes down, it tends to die quite quickly. But the armor it does have holds on for a while. And then we've got 2 tugboats as well. So looking at what we've got here, 3 of these cargo feeders, the momentary lapse of sanity, the utterly deranged statement, and the astounding lack of planning, all have C90 cannons. This is a 600mm spinal mounted gun. It is an absolutely gigantic shell. It only has 2 rounds. It has a fused bomb, which explodes in a huge shrapnel explosion. And it also has a 600mm Hesh round that's just used for absolutely cracking through ships. Also got MLS-2 launchers, so they can carry a decent missile load. And looks like we've got Bastion PDT, which isn't the greatest PDT to have on its own. We also have the OSPN smartest person in the room. This thing has a Bloodhound radar and an early warning radar. So this is an electronic warfare ship. The early warning radar we've seen before. The Bloodhound is a very powerful radar with a very good range. It doesn't give you locks, but it does give you very good tracks that are good enough to fire on. It's an interesting bit of kit. It's directional, so you have to actually point the ship at the track where you want it to scan, and it will be spinal mounted as well. This VLS launcher will probably be for protection, anti-ship missiles, and more bastions. And then we've got 2 clippers, the Not On My Watch and the Get Off My Lawn. These have the C30 cannon. This is a very similar build to what we've seen before. 2 C30 cannons, and they've got Grazer PDTs, which are the OSPN version of the Auroras that we had on the exception to the rule. Interesting build. Okay, let's see what the mission is. No exception to the rule on this mission, which is interesting to see as well. Week since the Divide 14. OSPN Navy Link Com. T. OSPN Momentary Lapse of Sanity from OSPN Emperor Reverse. Lieutenant Hashim, wake the fuck up. We've got an emergency on our hands. I don't want another one of your bullshit automated responses how you're out of office. You will read this message and send an immediate affirmation, or I will get your XO to relieve you. 8 drive flares just lit up on a breaking burn into a rock cluster between the edge of the system and our area of operations. I can't tell you everything, but we have reinforcements arriving here from McLaren soon, and it's absolutely imperative that we have a clear path to get to us without their composition being visually identified. So you need to get over there and clean that shit up. Normally, I'd send Stratus, but his fragile flower of a fucking cruiser is laid up for repairs, and your squadron is the next best suited for an attack into the teeth of Alliance jamming. To preempt the string of panic replies I know you're typing up right now, no, Stratus does not know about this yet, and yes, you are still supposed to be joining up with his squadron, and no, you'll not waste time informing him of your course deviation. Stratus will get the memo, and you'll be back as soon as you're done saving the fucking day. Get your squadron moving now. That is an order. Vance. Okay, so it looks like we're being thrown right into the teeth of something big. Alright, Vance, we've arrived. What's the timetable looking like? Not good. Word from our friends is that the weather in hyperspace is not cooperating. A quantum wavefront is approaching Gramensis dimensional parallel location. If the task force doesn't exit hyperspace before the storm hits, they're going to be blasted into dust scattered across several light years. As far as we can tell, the opposition here is meant to be 8 small ships. They arrived in tight formation, which probably means frigates. Don't underestimate them. The Alliance frigate is an absolute menace in a large group. They can carry a surprising amount of firepower, and since it's split up among so many hulls, there's no single target to take out with a missile strike. We need this frigate swarm dealt with ASAP so they can't get eyes on the ships coming out of hyperspace. If they do, well, losing the element of surprise would significantly complicate my plans, and that's just not permissible. Okay, we have an estimated location of the enemy coming in from here. Hyperspace storms wait for no one, Lieutenant Hashim. Do you need me to hold your hand, or are you ready to go to work? I am ready. What I'm going to do is, I think I should be able to handle this one. So I'm going to talk us through what we need to do here. Basically, we need to use our 600mm cannons to destroy the frigates before they get into firing range of us. And we need to use our E-War ship, the OSP's on us in the room, to detect them even through the jamming. That's what I'd like to hear. Drinks are on me when you get back. So this ship here, I mentioned it before, it has an early warning radar and it has a Bloodhound radar. We can use the early warning radar to detect the enemy from very far away. I'm just going to give it a heading command towards this reference point so that it doesn't turn away during this fight. And then it can use the Bloodhound once we've detected the enemies to narrow down that track and make it possible to be fired upon even without a lock. The rest of the fleet here can then fire on those tracks even if they're being shot at, which is pretty powerful. I'm going to move them forward at 2/3 speed. We're going to leave the smartest person in the world back here. I'm also going to give them a heading command because I don't want them turning around. Just somewhere towards A. We'll make it a little bit better once we've actually got some tracks to move them towards. And then what we're going to do is we're going to activate the E-War menu and we're going to activate the early warning radar. And we're going to get it, I'm just going to get this to move out a little bit more, to go towards this track here. And let's see if we can pick anything up. There we go. We've got 5 targets straight away. There's 5 targets moving in a pincer formation here. So let's get the Bloodhound radar to focus on them. They're not going to get sight on that yet. They're going to be close enough very soon. And we're actually just going to leave the smartest person in the room back here. I don't want it moving closer because I don't want it moving into jam range of these ships here, which is around 10,000 kilometers. We should be able to wait for them to close with us until we've got a good track, and then we can use the Bloodhound to just narrow these down quite a bit. I think it's probably already in range. If it's not, yeah, it's already in range with the Bloodhound. So I'm going to get the Bloodhound just to focus on this ship here. Then we're going to get Group 1 to preload their casement 600mm cannons with bombshells towards these targets. I'm also going to update their heading to focus straight towards this enemy. That means if I give them a reverse command, which I am going to do in a little bit, they will maintain their focus pointing towards their target rather than turning around and flying away. Let's just get them moving forward to here. So what we're doing to reiterate here is we're using this ship here to detect these ships with radar using its early warning radar. Then we're using the early warning radar to give ourselves basically a target to point our Bloodhound radar, which is a very powerful direct line radar at these targets, giving us a really nice track even though we haven't got a lock, which is then being sent via communications to these ships, which are able to fire on those tracks without actually being able to see them themselves. I'm going to give these guys a reverse order, but I'm going to get them to move at 1/3 speed. Just want them to basically not stop flying straight into the enemy, and you can see that they're already firing these 600mm bomb rounds at these frigates here. Let's see if we can actually see some of them explode. There you go. That's how they go off. You can see they're probably going to be doing a lot of damage to these ships. Because they've got this ship slightly behind and I have it targeted, they're actually going to blow up in the middle of the formation, and it's going to cause quite a lot of damage. You can see it's pretty much just a constant pounding. What I'll do is I'll probably fire this for a little bit here, and then I'm going to switch to firing off the Hesh rounds. So we're actually getting jammed. This group here is getting jammed right now. You can see the false traces coming up, but because the OSP and smartest in the room is out of range, it is not getting jammed. And that's how we win this encounter, really, is we make sure this ship doesn't get jammed. So even though these guys are getting jammed, it can still see the enemy and provide us with tracks. Now we're picking something else up back here. So there is another ship moving into the AO. We need to be aware of that. It's probably some more frigates. They did mention there were 8 of them, and this is just 5 of them. Let's just get it. Oh, that's no frigate. That's a heavy cruiser. Sorry. Oh, okay. This is a very big ship. I don't know if we have... Vance, we have a problem. There's a capital ship here. I need permission to use my missile racks. So we have Hurricane, which are command-guided missiles here. They use communications to guide to the target, but they're very good at hitting the target as long as you don't get jammed. So if we want to use them, we need to get all the jamming. That was a one-time incident. Give me launch control. What I'm going to do is I want to get this ship here to start firing Hesh shells. Releasing launch control. If you panic fire on that cruiser with a solid track and waste our entire supplies of Hurricanes, I will actually kill you. Good luck. Let's just make sure we still have a decent coverage on these guys here. Yeah, so this ship here is now firing high explosive... oof, that just penetrated straight through, and that's a high explosive shell. Wait, did I get all of them to fire Hesh? I meant to only get one of them to fire Hesh. I want all of them to fire bombs, and I just want number 3 to switch to Hesh. Just in case they get into range as well, I'm going to order the 100mm guns to fire. There you go. These Hesh rounds should do short work of the ship, and I'll just keep firing bomb rounds at the others. And when I think one of these is gone, I'll switch targets to get the other one with Hesh. And this is very much just an example of how OSPN can win the information war if they're played correctly. So what we're doing is we're using our superior range of our radars to outfox the enemy's better jamming. They're flying it. Their formation seems to be quite broken right now. The echo chamber at the back here is doing something weird. Unfortunately, the Hesh seems to be over-penetrating on the static noise here. You can see it's the green shell here, and quite often it is just over-penetrating through the ship, which isn't ideal. Now, they're actually catching up with us, so let's actually get everyone moving at full speed. And let's get you moving at full speed as well, just so you don't get caught in range. That was a good hit. We can take a few hits in these ships. I'm not worried about this ship getting off a couple of hits. Someone was talking about feedback. There is feedback, but these engagements aren't really lasting long enough for us to see the feedback of things like explosions and debris clouds and reactor explosions and things like that. But they do come up in the game, and they're pretty cool when they do happen. You do end up firing on sensor strikes a lot in this game, but you do get knife fights as well, especially if you're using beam destroyers or beam capital ships. It doesn't look like the echo chamber here is taking a lot of damage from the bomb rounds. I'm wondering if I've switched to Hesh a little bit too early. What will be happening is the explosive rounds will be fragmenting and doing a lot of damage to surface materials on these ships, but not actually destroying them. What I might actually do is change the main target to that ship at the back, and then just make sure that I think it was number 3 is was it number 2 is still firing at this ship. No, they're all firing bomb shells. They must have overridden the command. Okay, we'll get you to fire. Oh no, you are firing Hesh. Good, fire Hesh at him. Still getting some targets. It looks like we've now identified that there's 2 escorts with this heavy cruiser. This is the calculated hubris. And it's being supported by 2 unknown ships, which are probably another 2 frigates, I'm guessing. Looks like they're getting into range. Are we still backing up? We are. No, I've stopped. They're stopped moving. That's why they're getting attacked. Let's get them to continue backing up. Let's get you to continue backing up. Let's make sure our heading command is correct here. Looks like they're hitting our tugs. Looks like they're hitting... No one's taken too much damage yet, even though it's saying... Okay, yeah. We've lost... Well, we actually need that restored. We need that MLS-2 launcher available. Losing my speed there was a bit of a problem. I'm actually going to flank them just to get them out of this... they're a little bit too close to the enemy. They'll pick up speed quite quickly and get out of the way. These guys should start falling behind pretty soon. Those Hesh rounds are just going straight through, aren't they? I was hoping we'd just crush through with them. Let's see if this one penetrates. Nope, it missed. I'm going to switch back to targeting the main ship. Okay, they've stopped firing at us, so we've managed to pull out of their range. I might just go back to firing all 3 on bomb rounds. This is an interesting fight because technically it's very, very interesting, but visually it's not the most stimulating fight to watch because you're just seeing bomb rounds hit these frigates over and over again. I'm very aware that this lot are getting closer and closer. We need to take these frigates out of the fight pretty soon. Apparently, according to Intel, this guy's down to 54%. I guess that's why the mission briefing was never trust Intel, because they told us these were just frigates. Getting jammed again. Let's just make sure the smartest in the room is still moving back. It's still in decent range, which is good. Who lost a module there? So you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Everyone's okay. Oh, what I should do is probably get them off flank, because that can damage their thrusters if you leave it on too long. Have they stopped moving forward? I feel like they were maybe pulling away from them. What I'm thinking is these will probably have a lot of PD, so I can't use the Hurricane missiles against them. Okay, someone's got a lock. There's another jam. Those Hesh rounds are just not hitting, are they? Let's get number... Was it number 2 that's firing the Hesh? No, it's number 3 that's firing the Hesh. Let's get it to switch back to bombshells. Once, if these guys overtake, these guys are going to switch to them as a primary target. I'm just worried about them contributing point defense against any missile strikes I make. I do have access to a whole load of Hurricanes. Let's see how many I've got. It's not telling me how many I've got at the moment. I think I've got a lot of them. I think this fleet might be stuck. They don't seem to be moving forward anymore. So even if they're not engaging us anymore, they seem to be pretty combat ineffective. Or at least mobile. They might be immobilized. Or at least the lead ship might be immobilized, which has stopped the whole formation from moving forward. So what I think I'm going to do is order them to... So I need to order... Well, they're not quite in range yet. But when they're in range, we're going to switch to firing... It's an Axford, which is a heavy cruiser. When it's switched to firing at this heavy cruiser. But we'll keep firing at these for now. What I'm actually going to do is we're just going to attempt... Wait, these out of range? Oh, they're out of range. Okay, we're moving too fast here. Let's drop you all back to 2/3 speed. Because you're not actually hitting them anymore. And they are still moving forward. So let's actually order an attack here with bombshells. I might actually order my guys just forward a little bit until they can fire, and then I'll tell them to reverse again. I've just pulled them out of combat range a little bit too far. I'll just make sure our heading is still looking okay as well. Maybe we need to drop. No, it seems to be pretty on track. So we've got 5 tracks coming in, 3 tracks behind them. They are actually starting to get into range, and I'm worried that I haven't dealt with the rains yet. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to order them to fire HESH and just try and smash these rains out really quickly. They should have taken enough damage now that we... a couple of lucky hits will do the trick. I might just fire each firing cycle at one range and then cycle it around. Let's just make sure, yeah, let's just make sure you're moving backwards because you're getting a little bit too close. Okay, that's 2 rounds from you. Let's fire at you now. Are any of these going to hit? Here they come. Hit, miss, miss. Okay. Hit, miss, hit. I'm just going to hit each one with 2 rounds. And then we're going to have to switch to the Axford. Miss, miss, miss. Oh, this is getting a little bit dangerous. That's a hit, but it penetrated. I'll let them fire again. That's a hit, but it penetrated. Yeah, let's switch back to the bomb rounds. They're pushing us quite hard right now. We're actually running out of space to keep backing up. The Axford is overtaking the frigates, which is not good. Because what I can't do is let if the frigates guarding the Axford also have jamming capabilities, I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble. Let's pull you back, but we'll move you at speed 1/3. And we'll just hit them up with bombshells again. These cannons are massive. Wait for the middle one to fire. There we go. It's a pretty cool looking shot. So the Axford is almost overtaking these frigates. I think they must be pretty smashed. They don't seem to be moving that fast anymore. I think I'm going to have to change targets. So I'm going to get the Bloodhound onto the Axford, and then I'm going to order everyone to fire bombshells at the Axford. That's not actually going to damage the Axford, but what it should do is wreck the escorts. And then I can fire Hurricanes, which are command-guided missiles at the Axford once that's done. And that should be my way of taking it out. I just have to hope that I've done enough damage to these that they're not going to take part in that part of the fight. Oh, there you go. They're getting in range of our tugboats now. I think this is the closest one here.
That's too far.
Actually, these are ones getting closest. Let's hit them with the 100 mils.
Target is out of range.
And we're getting jammed again. We haven't been jammed in a while, so I think the jamming might be coming from these. So as I said, these bomb fragment rounds are not going to do really any damage to the Axford at all. Its armor is too thick for them to penetrate, but what it will do is it will damage these sprinters. Actually, these are sprinters. No, they're Rains. So they're frigates. Also, the 100mm here from the tugboats, which is now firing, will also help. That'll do some decent damage to them too. I need to take these out in case they have PD that will protect the Axford. Oops, I didn't mean to hook a track. You can see that even though the Bloodhound is giving me a really good track, it's not super accurate, so we are still missing with quite a lot of shots. It's why the bomb rounds are very handy, because they don't really need you to be that accurate. You just need to fire them somewhere near the enemy, and they will do their job. They're definitely doing a decent bit of work here. I'll fire off a few mirages, and then we'll get a missile. We'll launch a couple of missiles and see what the status is here. I think we're out of range. No, we are in range. I'm going to fire off... say 2 missiles, just to see how that goes. See what the status of the defenses are here. Okay, I actually fired 6 because I gave that as a main command, but let's see what their PD is like. Okay, they have AMMs, which are coming in. That's going to probably take out 2 of ours. No, the AMMs... Oh no, those are not AMMs, those are missiles coming at us. So you can see here the Axford is firing off a missile attack, and it has shot down all of our missiles there. Our flak and... okay, let's get you guys up to full speed, please. You need to pull back faster. Okay, this is getting a little bit scary. We've got a lot of missiles coming in. Okay, that was really bad. 2 of those got through. We lost that MLS again. We need to bring that back online. I need a battle shot these guys to get those grazers firing.
Understood.
Our signal's being jammed. Aye, aye, Commander.
We've got power.
Okay, you can see the lasers firing now that I'm properly battle shorting.
We're ready when you are, Commander.
Let's just pull you back a little bit further.
Missile understood.
This is quite scary now. There's a lot of missiles coming for us. We have not done enough damage to the enemy escorts to constitute enough defense. Just getting ready to battle shot the lasers. Okay,
Back up again.
Aye, aye.
Spiker detected.
so that's a lot of missiles coming in, but we're managing to defeat most of the missile barrages here. You've still got everything, you've still got everything. The only thing we've lost on these ships is forward thrusters so far. This guy's taking quite a lot of damage. I need this missile launcher back online. But there's a damage control team dealing with it. We need to deal with these incoming missiles again.
Acknowledged.
Ooh, that was going to make it through. Damn, it's the same ship as well. The outstanding lack of planning is taking a beating.
Go ahead, Commander.
Okay, I'm going to try and order another missile attack here.
Power has been restored.
See if that gets through.
Power online. Reporting a low power warning.
We might just need a decent quantity here. The escorts seem to have fallen off a little bit.
Warning. Incoming missile.
These are command guided, so they don't need to... They track off the sensor track, basically. Oh, that's going to be a good strike, actually. I don't think any of them made it through. No, none of them made it through. They got close. You can see our flak is firing as well.
Spiker detected.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Looks like these are potentially hybrids. Yeah, I think they're hybrids. That's why they go fast towards the end, because they're switching to their second stage. Oh, that's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. Damn. Okay, you've lost both your missile launchers now. You still have 2 restores.
Command's on the line.
This is not looking good.
Aye, aye,
Power.
Okay, lasers did their job there. I'm going to launch another strike here because we're starting to get into some serious problems.
Reactor power. Power grid.
I think I'm just going to fire everything. Okay, we're actually out of range right now. So we're going to have to push forward a little bit.
low power warning. Copy that. Moving.
If we can take out the Axford, we should be able to mop everything else up.
We are tracking the Spiker. Aye, aye, Commander.
Come on, lasers. I need the grazers to do their jobs here. Good, they did it. And I just need to get into missile range on this Axford. Okay, we're in range now. I want to fire everything I've got. Oh, that's the range. I want to fire it at the Axford. How many missiles do we have here? We have a lot of missiles. Oh no, I think I've run out of missiles at this point. Let's launch everything we've got and see if we can somehow get through. Remember, this ship here is still repairing its missile battery, so actually not firing as many as I thought we would. Yeah. Will they do a missile? Let's hold a missile command until the missile launchers are back online. This will, we can easily use this to see the state of the PD here. Okay, the PD is definitely degraded, but they're still not getting through. That's another failed engagement. Oh, okay, they're still launching. Even though I ordered them to stop, they must have finished programming. I just need to get this launcher online, and then we'll launch everything else we've got. Okay, is that it back online?
What are orders?
Yes, the missile launchers are back online. Let's launch everything else we've got at the Axford.
At the ready, Commander. Sending it.
Some of these will have to get through. Okay, a couple of those got through there. Nope, none of them got through. That was another... No, engagement complete. We've got 2 missiles through in that engagement.
We hear you, Commander.
We're being attacked by the other ships now as well.
Understood. Engaging the enemy.
Understood. Engaging.
This is a good hit. Yeah, those are good hits. Okay, that's really smashed that ship up. I'm shooting HE at this range right now, trying to take it out of the fight. I'm going to order our main fleet to back up again as well. They're getting a little bit too close for comfort.
We're moving. How can we help today, Commander?
We should see another missile strike here. Yeah, getting some really good hits on the Hubris now. But these Rains here have now joined the fight. It's a lot of firepower in the local area. I'm actually going to start... I want to get you to get the Bloodhound on him, and then I'm going to get you guys to hit them with more bomb rounds. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. You can see that the Axford is launching chaff, but that's actually not going to do anything here because these are command-guided missiles. The things like this will not seduce those missiles at all. I have a video coming out on how all the different tracking types work for dummies because it took me a while to understand them myself. How is... It looks like you've lost... are you a little bit too far away? No, it's okay. We just lost visual, which is fine. Are we out of missiles now? Okay, we are out of missiles. Let's try and take out these rains, and hopefully we've done enough damage to the Axford to take it out of the fight so we can finish it off with HESH. So what I want to do is I want to get you guys to fire at this ship in the middle. We have to rely quite heavily on our 100mm here. The Axford is still moving forward. It says condition 39%, which is pretty low. We just have to hope that that is actually true. This is our current target here, the static noise. I want it to die first. We've got visual on it. It's looking pretty banged up. Looks like they're armed with 250mm cannons, which is not nice, but they're not tracking particularly well. I really want to fire high explosive at these guys. Because just a couple of hits from this will kill the target. That's a good hit. Surely it's in trouble. They're not firing back at us, which makes me think that we've done tons of damage with the bombs. Okay, I think that's enough on that one. Let's switch the Bloodhound to here, and then we're going to get the fleet to shoot at this guy. That's surely enough damage to do something nasty to this rain, so we can focus on a different one. This rain's here is not looking too badly damaged, although you look at this side and it's peppered to hell. Actually, the rounds are overshooting and hitting the rains behind, which is fine. I need to update your heading command, I think.
Roger that.
I'm going to actually pull them over this way. Okay, one of these ships is dead. That was the last ship we smashed has died. Let's focus on this one. It's launching escape pods. What's quite good right here is even though a lot of these shots are missing, they're hitting the Axford behind. These ships look like they're in really, really bad state after the pounding they've taken. Just want to make sure that we're actually shooting at this target and not the Axford right now.
Opening fire.
It looks like they are actually firing at the Axford, which is not what I want them to be doing. We need to kill these rains. Looks like the Axford is packing a beam turret, which is quite dangerous. We can't let it get too close. They'll just flank these guys back a little bit. They're definitely still pulling back. They're definitely still pulling back. Just need some of these big HESH rounds to hit this guy. There you go. Here they come. That was a good hit. That was another good hit. That'll penetrate and explode. In fact, bridge lights have just gone off. That ship might be dead, or it is at least dying. So while we wait, we'll switch targets to this one. It looks like they might be going after the smartest person in the room right now. So I'm just going to curve the smartest person in the room around this way.
We're underway, Commander.
This ship is now stopped dead in the water. If it's not dead, it is dying. So we need to take this track out. I saw the escape pods here, and I thought they were escape pods from this ship. He's now stopped dead in the water as well. We should be able to do decent damage with HESH to this ship on this side. Because this is... I don't have AP for this, do I? I do have AP, okay. I'll use the armor-piercing rounds against this. We have already done a lot of damage to the armor on this side, so the high explosive should penetrate. You can see why I wanted to get rid of these tugs, these rains, though, because they are still firing at us with their 250mm. Let's turn off flank speed on this fleet here. That beam turret is looking concerning. I don't think we're in range. At 3,000 meters, we're definitely in range. But I think it might be destroyed. Saying now condition 33%. I'm hoping the Hesh is doing the work that we need it to do. How's that other frigate looking? This frigate here is dead. Signal kill. I think this one here is in a lot of trouble. It's evacuated. Signal kill. Okay, so we've just got these 4 frigates back here and the Axford to deal with. Focusing down the Axford right now because we're out of range of those frigates. I'm actually going to maybe get them to close in a little bit because it seems to be combat ineffective. Let's update the heading command as well. Make sure they're facing towards it. They'll obviously always, if a heading command interferes with their ability to shoot, they will override it. But it's still nice to give it to them. Still says condition 33%. I want to get visual on it. It's a lot of firepower we're just spewing out towards it. Still taking a little bit of damage from the rains, but we'll deal with them when we've dealt with this thing. It's going to be quite hard to take it out with Hesh, but we should be able to get there. It's a shame we haven't got any missiles left. Just to make sure none of our ships lost their launchers, did they? No. Did you lose your... Oh, it's a berthing you lost. As I say, if you lost your... You've got none. You've got none. You've got none. Just making sure there's definitely no missiles left. I maybe used them a little bit too early. Come on, Hubris. Please go down. Here it is here. How is it looking? It's definitely taking a pounding, and that armor is definitely degraded. 100mm AP won't get that far through the armor on Axford, but it should penetrate. Youch, that was a high explosive round straight through the command tower. It's definitely taking a pounding. It doesn't look healthy. I think its thrusters are off right now, which means the engines are potentially being destroyed, or the main power plant is offline. No, the lights are still on, so the power plant hasn't been destroyed. Okay, let's just back them up a little bit. Smartest person in the room, let's just make sure you're still facing the right direction, because I'm a little bit worried about the track you're giving out right now. So let's get an all stop on you. And let's just get you pointing your Bloodhound and your early warning radar at him, please. Give us the best track you can. Okay, he's definitely lost his mobility. What I think I'm actually going to do right now is we're going to switch. So I want to get you to point this and this here. And then I want you to fire this and HE at the reins. Let's take the reins out because they're shooting back right now. The Axford isn't. I'm also going to kill the heading command that we've got so that they can freely rotate to fire at these guys. These ships here, their 100mm guns are mounted on the front of the ship, so they've got pretty good range of movement. Have you not got... oh, there you go. I was about to say, why aren't you shooting? Okay, the Axford's dead in the water right now. Let's focus on these rains. I'm pretty sure a few high explosive rounds will sort them out. We should wait for the cargo feeders to turn to face. Bring those big cannons to bear. Probably the biggest downside of the cargo feeder is that it is just a little bit awkward to maneuver. But they will turn around in a second and they will unleash what they've got. And it's pretty fun playing with the 600mm cannon is the largest caliber weapon in the game. The plasma is 400, I think. I'm not sure what the technical size of the railgun and the mass drivers are, but I don't think they're that big. There you go. There's the large rounds coming in. That's 2 good hits. They penetrated, but it was still 2 good hits. The 100mm HE will actually do a lot of damage to her reins as well. That's a penetration. That's a penetration. Let's see if we can get a solid hit. So when I say penetration, I mean an over penetration. Those both missed. How are you doing, smartest person in the room? Are you facing the right way? Yeah, you are. Okay, you've got them locked up. This is probably enough for this target. We'll probably move on to another one after this barrage. That's a hit, but it overpanned. That's a hit, but it overpanned. There should be one more coming in. There it is there. Missed. Hit overpan. Okay, he's not really moving anymore. Give me Bloodhound on him, and let's hit him with Hesh and HE. I think this ship might be out of action. It's taken a really quite a beating just now. What's the Axford doing? The Axford's just sitting there not doing anything. Its condition is harmless, so I think it might be mission killed. So we'll focus on these Rains for now. Mind you, never trust intel. They told us there wasn't any heavy cruisers here, and this thing came for us. Two misses. You know, I think I might just close so we get a better track on these guys. He's definitely fallen out of formation. He's been immobilized but is not dead. That's what intel's telling me. Oh, they're all overpenning. I still think it's better than using the bomb fragments at this stage in the fight. I think I just need to finish the Rains off. And one good hit that doesn't overpenetrate will probably wreck the whole ship. It is unfortunately just a little bit too powerful around. Oh, that's a terrible move.
At the ready, Commander. Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving.
Come on. Give me a good hit. Nope, they both missed. That was a hit. No, still over-penetrating. Damn. You're still active by the looks of it. Not under command. Let's switch to you.
Understood.
Oh, no, that's actually dead. So let's... Oops, I didn't mean to cease fire. Damn it. Damn it. Ceasefire means they stopped. It stopped using the E-War.
Copy that, Commander.
What I wanted to do was mark you as killed. So we're now focusing on this one here.
Understood. Engaging.
As far as I can tell, there's possibly 2 ships left in the AO that are active. Oh, that was a good hit. That didn't overpenetrate. This guy's taking a beating right now. That overpenetrated. That missed. The 100mm C-30 cannons on the tugs are actually doing great work. Ah, they're actually running. Okay, this is now our target.
Take him out.
This one's offline for the moment because it's got red lights from the bridge. This one is still active. I'm not saying this is dead yet, but its well, condition is actually 0, but that's intel isn't always 100% correct on the state. This one's actually shooting back right now. This one's now gone offline.
Engaging.
Receiving. Understood.
Hitting these in the stern is just very, very nasty. That's it. We've got them all. That's it. All radar signatures are flatline. Holy shit. Alright, I admit it. I'm impressed, Ashim. Very well done. I'll have to look into how intelligence missed that capital ship in the dry flare analysis. Link up with our reinforcements and escort them back here. Stratus repairs are almost done, and I have grand plans. Whew. That was a little bit spicy. That was supposed to go a little bit better than that. We did not do very well with our missile strikes, as with the last mission, actually. But we still did pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with how we did. We did, let's have a look. The astounding lack of planning did 5,000 damage with Hesh out of 20,000 potential, 6,000 out of 84,000 with the bombshell, but that's pretty hard to beat. They got 10 missiles through. The momentary lapse of strategy got 6 missiles out of 18 and lost 18. The smartest person in the room didn't fire any missiles. The utterly deranged statement got 7 missiles through, lost 17. So that's probably a big part of why that took so long. We should have gotten more of these command-guided missiles through, but I think I maybe launched them a little bit early because I was worried about the Axford closing with that beam laser and actually doing more damage to us. You can see here that after it took the damage from the missiles and then the pounding it took from the Hesh. The ship has no active modules. This is the beam turret here. That's been completely destroyed. If we look down here as well, it was firing Typhoons. It got 7 Typhoons through, launched, and we defeated 45 of them. So even though it didn't look like I was doing particularly well with my missile defenses, they actually were great. We defeated 45 missiles. Potential damage there was 50,000. It dealt 2,400 damage with those. Looking at the frigates, they did laughable damage. 2 of them did 700 odd damage, and that was about it. So we actually managed to turn this around really, really nicely. 18,000 damage from you, 5,000 damage from you, 18,000 damage from you, 5,000 damage from you, 16,000 damage from you. I'm pretty happy with that. That was a pretty good engagement. Okay, that was the second last mission in the campaign. We have one more to go. I'm going to try and get it recorded tomorrow, and I will see you when I see you. For now, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying this, please let me know, leave a like, etc. That does let me know to keep focusing on these kind of things. And I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao for now.